All right. Russian forces moved in to Europe's largest nuclear power plant in Ukraine last night. We watched it happen live. Here's some footage. There might be some TOS in here, but I don't know where it is. But let's take a look.
We're telling you about that Russian assault on Europe's largest nuclear power plant. President Zelensky still standing firm there in the capital.
That capital increasingly under siege. Our senior foreign correspondent is there. Ian Panel starts us off. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, George. From the Maidan, Independence Square. You know, this was the seat of the Revolution of Dignity back in 2014 when the Ukrainians rose up to express their desire to move away from Russia and closer to the west. Well, today the barricades have been set up here for a much more bloody and brutal battle. We watched those scenes developing overnight. About 2 a.m. we were watching this live stream of this battle taking place outside a nuclear power plant. It was almost unbelievable, the scenes that we were seeing. President Zelensky just speaking, saying, Ukrainians, we survived the night, saying it could have caused as many as 6 Chernobyls, referring to the nuclear disaster back in the 1980s. But nuclear scientists saying the situation appears to be under control, but Russia bearing down across Ukraine this morning. This morning in Zhytomyr, west of
5 months, what is wrong with me?
Kyiv, destroyed. This is just the latest escalation as Russia ramps up its war machine, increasingly bombing indiscriminately. There now seems to be almost total disregard for civilians caught in the middle. Just 90 miles north of Kyiv, in the city of Chernihiv, dashcam video capturing the moment a missile strike hits a residential neighborhood.
There it is. This is like literally someone walking, dude.
City emergency services saying 47 people were killed, 18 wounded. If confirmed, it would be the deadliest single attack on civilians since the invasion began. And overnight, pitched battles at Europe's largest nuclear power plant. In a highly dangerous development, Russian troops shelling the site with tracer fire lighting up the sky. The plant streaming the attacks online. Ukrainian President Zelensky pleading for international intervention. Warning, if there's an explosion, it's the end of everything, the end of Europe. This morning, the nuclear facility...
The irony, of course, is that it's also the end of fucking Russia. Also, shelling with tracer fire is... like, that's not what started the fire. The reason why the fire started is because they were shooting into... like, they didn't... I don't think they fucking threw, like, a mortar or something. Or they didn't throw a missile. There was one, at least from what we saw... there was one from this side. There was one rocket. Like, they used RPGs and shit, but they weren't like actively using their big boy weapons from afar to try to fucking shell or destroy the nuclear power plant in the way that the news suggested. I think they were, their ultimate goal was to overtake the nuclear reactor so they can control the power to 25% of like Ukraine. And cut it out if they want to, if they feel like it. And two, you know, I mean, they were chasing Ukrainian forces into the administrative building. Luckily, it was just the administrative building, and they have, I think, taken the nuclear power plant now.
Facility now in the hands of the Russians, and the nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, saying none of the facility's essential equipment has been damaged. A fire in the building has been extinguished. Western regulators say they've seen no change in radiation levels.
Nuclear power plants were not designed to be the survive military conflicts.
Earlier in the day...
that's not even true. That's not... why is he saying that? I thought they were quite literally designed to survive military conflicts. Like, aren't nuclear power plants built specifically so that, like, some fucking terrorist can't, like, land a plane on it, you know? Like, drop a plane on it? Like, it still is fine. It's built to withstand... it's built to withstand, like, a fucking 9/11 style attack. They are designed to prevent terrorist attacks, not full military attack. I mean, I get, yes, if they were, of course, guys, yes. If they were literally just destroying, if they wanted to destroy a nuclear reactor, then they could do it because they're not going to be able to, like, it can be more devastating than a fucking 747 directly launching itself at the nuclear reactor. If you just consistently keep shelling it over and over again. But that's not what was happening anyway. Also, yes, Russia is downwind. I wonder if the people shooting know that, but like we talked about it yesterday, that if the fucking reactor melted down, the people that would suffer the most after the Ukrainians would not be like Europeans.
In nearby Enerhodar, the city's mayor posting these verified videos showing explosions outside the town. And in the southern part of the country, the Russians seizing Kherson, the first major city to fall into their hands. And with troops bearing down on Mykolaiv and the navy approaching Odessa, it appears they're trying to cut Ukraine off from the Black Sea coast. Kharkiv in the east, the country's second largest city, has been under siege for days. This week, a resident was recording a video message when one of the airstrikes hit.
Oh, this video is crazy. He's fine, by the way, but this video is fucking insane. Like, he's just like literally, it's not TOS. I did watch this. It's fucking bananas. That's what happens when that's what happens when you're getting fucking shelled. But it's wild.
And as the Russian forces approach the capital, the people of Kyiv ready to put up a fight.
This is a city, this is a country now on a total war footing. We're in the heart of Kyiv in Maidan Square. And as you can see, concrete barricades, tank traps have been set up, and everyone's now bracing for a Russian assault.
President Zelensky speaking with reporters in the secret location inside the capital.
But how long can you hang on?
He told me, I don't know how long. It doesn't depend on time. It depends on us. A senior US official saying they believe Putin intends to crush Kyiv, already having selected and prepared a puppet government to replace Zelensky. This comes as the second round of talks between Ukrainian and Russian delegations wrap up. Both sides have provisionally agreed to possible temporary ceasefires and to open humanitarian corridors for civilians to leave cities under siege. Well, Cecilia, I've seen this playbook before. I saw it in Syria, in the city of Aleppo, where Putin, together with Bashar al-Assad, bombed and pummeled residential neighborhoods to try and drive large numbers of people out. Collective punishment, but a total disregard for civilian life. Cecilia?
The world needs to hear these stories. Ian, thank you so much.
Yeah, collective punishment is, rarely ever applied. Rarely ever applied to Western actions, though. If we're gonna be fucking real here, if we're gonna be 100%, we're gonna be straight up here.